What's going on, everyone? This is Matt, SqueakyClean Air, and today we're going to be modifying Yogi's modifying Yogi's Toyota Corolla Sedan. Stay tuned. Yes. This thing is pretty heavily modified. Looks pretty dope. Did some ground effects on it. It's got a nice set of wheels. It's got a crazy stereo setup, which we're going to incorporate using the air suspension, quad exhaust. So quite a bit of done on this puppy, and we're going to be bagging it. So this is going to be a fun project, and stay tuned. But it's the first. This is the first four-door Toyota Corolla that I'm doing this generation. They're really cool cars, reliable, and you don't see very many of these bagged here in Canada, at least. We did the newer Toyota hatch not long ago. There's a vlog posted, but never really done a Toyota Corolla sedan. So this is a first for me, but suspension is very simple. It's not complicated. It's not a separated setup on these. It's McPherson front and back, and it should be a blast. So stay tuned. Okay, so I got the rear taken apart. It's actually very simple to remove the rear shocks on this car. Now pay attention to this, is very important. The Toyotas, as well as the CRVs, as well as the EP3s, as well as the RSXs, have a proprietary mount on the back. And usually what happens is the mount itself sits lower on the actual shock. So that's one of the reasons why not a lot of manufacturers out there will have air suspension kits for this vehicle. Very few, to be honest with you. And those are the ones that are able to design a special type of a shock, which allows the top mount to sit lower on the actual thread points, that allows it to thread down. Because if you notice, majority of the shock is up to here. Okay, a lot of the stuff that's out there that a lot of companies make sits usually on top of the actual top point of the shock. I'm not sure if you guys follow my videos. If you do, subscribe. You'll see that a lot of the times when I do any conversions, when I did my Mark 7 GTI, you'll kind of notice a difference where the special shocks need to be able to thread lower in order to mount, in order to have the mount sit specifically. So that's why, you know, not everyone, not a lot of the companies will carry a lot of the applications, which makes SqueakyClean Air and other companies kind of a different, because we pretty much have everything. And the reason why that is as I've mentioned many people, we're in the manufacturing side when it comes to air suspension, just with the years put into the industry, you know, being former Eric's Canada and having some connections and just doing a lot of research into different suspension options. That's why SqueakyClean Air has a proprietary bag and designs that will allow you to, for example, bag this car. And let me demonstrate. See this, guys? This is a special type of a mount. And this is where the top of the shock is. You cannot just put this over a regular shock with conversion companies or conversions that a lot of people offer. It needs to be specifically designed for this vehicle for it to work, and has to be a specific shock for this to work. Otherwise it won't. But here you have it. Here it is. So basically the rear end is a beam. And yeah, as you guys guessed it, the upper mounts, remove the bolts, remove the nut here, and slide out the shock. The whole beam will drop. Same thing on the other side. So I made sure that I rearranged the bags to have the fittings from the inside, so it doesn't rub anything here. It's easier for me to route the lines, even up here behind the exhaust. We haven't gotten to routing the lines yet because the shocks are not fully in. Once I get the fronts and the rears in, I'm going to start running the lines. Then I'll show you guys how I'm going to run the lines for this particular car. But this is just one thing that I wanted to stress. That's why a lot of the applications out there, you know, when you guys set up different suspension companies, they just don't offer it. And that's because it requires a lot of R&D to create these mounts, you know, because they have to be vehicle specific. And a lot of companies won't bother because they're just like, well, it's not popular, we're not going to make it. Well, that's why we bag Kias, that's why we bag brand new M4s, that's why we bag, you know, Toyotas and whatever. And that's where the knowledge comes in and the experience, you know. So, you know, it's not all air suspension is the same. You know, there's tons of manufacturers now. There's an influx of a lot of, you know, AliExpress brands, and everyone's sort of getting into the air suspension brand because coilovers are kind of like in the past. But you guys got to be careful. Just because it looks the same, just because You know, it might be advertised as the best, just like, you know, a lot of companies are putting a lot of marketing. Like, for example, Eric's used to put in a lot of marketing to exotics. You know, how many people actually drive exotics, right? You know, Prazos does the same thing. Now I think it's former Eric's, to be honest with you. Just to name a few. These are all great suspension companies, but a lot of this stuff, you know, has to deal with support. And you have to have the proper support for product, as well as, you know, don't bite too much into the marketing, because a lot of the marketing is just bullshit, right? You got to look at the realism behind it. If I'm going to get a strut kit, or if I'm going to bag a car, what kind of support am I going to have? Am I going to wait 3 months in order to get something from somewhere else, or are you going to be able to get it local? So that's where it boils down to. So when you guys are doing research, make sure you do the right research when it comes to suspension. But it's amazing for the consumer because there's a lot of choice. So that's awesome. But anyways, so this one is in. We're going to mount it up. I'm going to start working on the front, and then we're going to run the lines. Okay, running lines on the Toyota Corolla. It's not as easy as on normal vehicles. Why? Well, simply similar to the Civic, is because it doesn't have a vent on the side over there. There's no vents. There's a vent on this side, but not on this side. So what I had to do is I had to drill holes and put some grommets to run the lines on the outside, which is what we did here on this side. So there's 2 grommets here. I haven't ran the rears yet, but I ran the fronts. And unfortunately, there isn't really any shields. So you kind of have to route it all around the exhaust, above the heat shield, obviously. Go around here on the strut. And then there's no shields again. So you're going to go all around sort of the chassis over here, away from the exhaust, underneath this cover shield. Run it all the way through there, because there's no lines, there's only ones. Then there's one little cover over there which you can run it through, and that will go all the way through there into the front. So let me show you guys in the front. Okay, here it is in the front. Through there, up to here, loop around, and connect to the ladder line. So you get total control. Make sure it's above the at least about 2 to 3 inches above the control arm, so it doesn't touch it. I will know whether it clears or how it doesn't touch when I air it down and bring it down. If I need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this line over here, and I'm going to bring it up so maybe the ladder line sits all the way up to here, because right now it's a little bit flexed. I don't want to cut it until I lay the car on the ground and I know how much I need, if I need to do any adjustments. But the whole idea is you don't want it to basically hover around the control arm or the shaft over here and then just slightly chive through until it breaks. So from the looks of it, it seems like it's clearing, but I won't know until the car is actually on the ground and it sits and I turn it. So what I'm going to do is, once I have it on the ground, once it's bagged, I'm going to let it run. I'm going to fill everything up at drive height, and I'm going to have the front wheels turn left and right to see if there's clearance, whether there's any tugging on the lines or anything like that. That's the best way to check the actual installation, and you're going to make sure that this doesn't chafe on the actual shaft over there. But so far so good. So that's how you do the fronts all the way through. The other side is a little bit easier, but as you guys can see, it goes over here, goes behind there, obviously away from the bag and away from the exhaust above the shield. So there really isn't a cover here that you can route it through, so it's kind of a little bit of exposed. And then it just goes through there, through here, all the way through this shield over here. I did have it come out over there, and I used a retainer there, but obviously I spray painted it to make sure that there still is a spray paint, because this car is going to be driven during the winter, so you don't want it to rust. The other side, same kind of an idea, going through the vent, except here you have a vent, so it's easy. You just fish it out behind the bumper. Again, go around here, away from the bag, and then go below here. There is no metal shield on this side, but over here you have the brake lines, so you can attach it to the brake lines. You have another cover just like that in the front. Run it through there, and then run it through to the front, like on the right side. So basically, the left side is exactly the same as the right side and the front. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the rears. Run the lines through, connect up to the rear bags over here. There's fittings on both sides, and that's pretty much for line routing. Okay, so ready to drop this thing on the ground. Do static air. Stay tuned. So this thing is slammed on the ground. It's done. Got it all the way down, adjusted. For For the trunk setup, there's not much to see simply because he's still doing an audio trunk setup. So we kind of just laid out the compressors, the tanks and all that kind of stuff. So nothing really crazy, but the compressors are going to go on the side. He's going to have a custom sub box over here. The tank and the manifold is pointing that. As you can see, there's a lot of audio stuff here, but the tanks are here. The compressors are on the sides nicely. You'll have a huge box, and so far so good. It's running SqueakyClean air management, which is right here. So it's going to get cleaned up, and so far so good. But it turned out awesome for a sedan. This is pretty low. They do slam quite a lot, and they do drive really nicely. And there definitely are a show-stopping car.